You will, the way you prepare, the way you prepare for life is a product of how well you have understood the project. Most of you are not prepared. Let's leave the devil out of it. Even if there's no devil, they'll chain the devil. Most of you will not be able to. They chain him, they arrest him. I say, now live without Satan. The way you are preparing yourself, you will not go far. The way you are, because there's a strategic approach towards maximizing potential. At your age, can they pray for 10 hours? This your people. They can pray for 10 hours? Okay. Are you sure of that? Do you do that regularly? At your age, your coach should have exposed you to staying without food 3 times a week until it dawns on you that man shall not live by bread alone. If you have not gotten that lesson, your lecturers will not teach you that. When you master your appetite for food, you can master your appetite for sex. As you are moving around as a sex object everywhere, it's a proof of the fact that you are a slave to your appetites. And if you can successfully be a slave to those appetites, it means that you have not yet understood the mandate. The question we are trying to answer today is, what is man? Pastor, if my message is too hard, please just do like this, I will understand. Then I'll go to John 3:16 and speak about love. We'll talk about love. Jesus, my first encounter with Jesus was at the age of 13. I was taken to heaven for 8 hours. You might ask me, how do I know it's 8 hours? I was sick. My mom is a nurse, so she treats us at home, right? She doesn't take us for admission, so she was treating. I was lying on the bed, looking at the what do I call it? The clock. Okay, so I knew what the time was before I left my body. According to what happened to me, I died, but I did not know. So I had come to heaven, and when I got to heaven, I saw some things that the Lord has not given me the permission to speak about. It was where there I was told what I was, and Jesus released me to come back into my body. When I checked the time, I spent 8 hours there. You get that? That's how I know. It is from that bed I rose until I was 13. Then till 31, the time I married, I never touched any woman, because I knew what I was. From that time, I started to fast and pray. There were some years I fasted half the year. Some years I fasted 200 and something days. I no longer count it now, because I knew what I was. If I see the way you are preparing for life, I can tell you if you are going to arrive or not. Because you know what? You are still all by yourself. You have not met the adversary. Adam didn't know that he was going to meet a challenge. But he was told that he was supposed to dress the garden. Then the next word there, keep the garden, that is military. In Hebrew, it's military. It means that he must be a master of the way of priesthood, to provide earthly permission for heavenly interference, so that the arm of God will be with him in case he meets a spiritual entity that whose power is not factored in the flesh. He will contend with it by the arm of God through the priesthood that he has set up. At this time, Adam didn't know that man was created as an object of priesthood. For Jesus said, and he spake, the book of Luke chapter 18 verse 1 says, and he spake a parable to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint. That's the design for man. It's a creature of prayer, and he needs to know how to pray always. And the opposite of prayerful is not prayerless. There's nothing like prayerless in the Bible. The opposite is fainting. It means you're on life support. You are available to be used to fill a satanic account if he's looking for blood to balance the equation. People on life support are people with plugs. You know, I told you, if it's becoming too strong, just do like this. I will understand. Adam was supposed to dress the garden. That was physical. You are going to tend the family someday. How are you preparing to be a mother? Have you ever asked your mother what labor pains are? Okay. Oh, you don't want to. Let me even close my Bible. I will not be tempted to read any scripture in addition to this. Have you asked your mom what labor pains are? I saw my wife for our last child in labor pains. I knew I will not have any child again. Maybe you think the reason why you have a womb is because you are going to have children. That is part of it. But the reason why you have a womb is that your greatest use is in your ability to travail. And travailing exists to birth, yes, physical things like your children. There are also travails you will need to go through in order for you to birth spiritually. A woman's life cannot be dissociated from travail. I'm just trying to, the question we are trying to answer is, what am I? We need to ask the manufacturer to give us perspective. By the time you know the burden that is upon your shoulders and the destinies that we drink from the milk that your travail will produce, there are some things you do now that you will